With Vancouver Canadians pitcher C.J. Van Eyck, the Blue Jays' second-round pick in the year 2020. C.J., you completed your first professional season. When you look back on it, how did you think it went for you?
I mean, there's ups and downs. I mean, I think that's just how your first professional season goes, especially as a pitcher. But I wasn't proud of my ERA, but we definitely learned some stuff and figured out how pro ball works. So it was good to get my feet wet for sure. Good experience with the Canadians. Now,
when you look back on it, what did you learn exactly going into your first professional season? What do you wish you had known before taking the mound as a professional?
Just not to give the guys your opposition too much credit, and just kind of trust your stuff that got you to that point, and I was just thinking, new level, new people, you gotta be new, you gotta try new things, and that's just not really how it works. And I had to figure that out the hard way.
When you look back in your season, ups and downs, as you mentioned, but it looked like things were really starting to turn around for you in the month of August. And your last outing, 2 innings, 2 perfect innings before you had to leave, and then shortly after put on the injured list to end the year. But things were obviously, looks like you're figuring stuff out in August. How are you doing right now?
I'm doing good. Yeah, that's what everyone says, kind of, finish better than you started. So I'm glad we were turning in the right direction in August. But then, yeah, I tore my UCL. That's why I got put on the injured list out of that start. So, yeah, and I'm doing good right now. I'm in month 3 of rehab. I had surgery on September 20th. So I'm on month almost 3 of rehab, and we're trucking along. It's not bad.
UCL, that's usually associated with Tommy John surgery. Is that what you've been told, that's what happened to you?
Yeah. No, I had a full reconstruction of the Tommy John ligament.
That's a tough break, and especially things are going so well for you in your last start. As I mentioned, 2 perfect innings, but I guess when you were pitching, did you feel, okay, something's not quite right here? I guess when was the decision made to finally, pull the chute?
Yeah, so I mean, it was just it happened in my start before. I felt good coming out through my 5 innings, felt good. Woke up and it just hurt. Through my bullpen on schedule, through my next start on schedule, that was the 2 innings, and then my velo was good. I felt like I could throw fastballs good. It just hurt to throw curveballs and spin other stuff. So that's when we kind of made the decision that shouldn't keep pitching, and then we kind of got some doctors involved and my agents, and we were able to make a good decision to get the surgery.
So how's the off-season work been going so far? I know it's a tough procedure for you to go through, but how have things been going so far on the rehab front?
I mean, I would say the first 2 or 3 weeks was pretty tough, like having your arm locked up in the brace and stuff. So, but other than that, it's been pretty smooth sailing. We got like 14 other guys in there that tore their UCL this year too. So we've all kind of been helping each other out, pushing each other along, and we got a good group of guys to hold each other accountable in there. So it's been good, better than I thought it would be.
Canadians teammate Kobe Johnson, also a former Seminole. I believe he's gone through the same thing with you, so I'm sure I guess he's probably one of the guys you've been comparing notes with.
Yeah, no, definitely. He was at school coming back from his Tommy John. Whenever I was a freshman, he was junior or senior, trying to rehab his stuff. So yeah, I definitely talked to him about it. Now he's in the training room with a little lat injury, so we're in there together, just talking it up for sure.
You're teammates with PK Morris in high school, and he joined the team late. I don't know if you had a chance to interact with him when you were injured, but so you had a couple of guys you knew on the Canadians in 2021.
Yeah, that would have been cool to get to play with him. We played in high school together. He's one of my best friends still, so that would have been cool to get up there and play with him. But he got called up when I got sent back down to go rehab. So it's funny how that stuff works out. But we'll be on the same team here soon. I assume one day.
With 2021, it was a crazy season for the Canadians. That unfortunately the team was not able to return north of the border. But what was that like? I guess the uncertainty of it all. It's like, yes, you knew you were going to start the season in Hillsboro, Oregon, and I guess there were rumblings that maybe midway through the season that the team could return to Vancouver. But I guess what was that like going through that kind of season, being in a home ballpark that really wasn't your home?
Yeah, I know it was. I mean, it was good in a sense that I didn't really know any better, if that makes sense. Like I'd never seen the NAD or seen the Canadians fans and like what they really bring, and everyone's been saying that. So like I think it's good that I didn't get to see that, so I didn't know what I was missing. You know what I mean? So, but it was kind of confusing, like being out, like our trainers and coaches and stuff would like throw it out there that we might go up there and stuff, but then there would be a new mandate that came out like from Canada or something that with the vaccines and whatnot that would just keep pushing our date back. And then by the time I got like 3 weeks away from the season ending, there was just kind of like no point in packing all this stuff up just to go up there. So I don't know, but I don't know. Like I want to go see the Nat and see the Vancouver fans and stuff, but I don't know if I want to be in high A again, like when I'm coming back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it looked like things were turning around for you, but yeah, we don't really know when you're going to get reassigned. Maybe we will get to see you in Vancouver, or maybe you might be in Double A, New Hampshire. But it was a tough season all around for the team. It started off really well. You guys were battling for first place, but as I guess basically after Father's Day, you had that tough stretch against Eugene and Everett. Those are two really tough clubs. A lot of people are saying Everett really could have been a Double A club. That's how much talent they had before. Well, a lot of their players wound up getting called up, but
they could have won more games.
At least you had a chance to compete, I guess, in the first half of the season, but things kind of went downhill after, I guess, Tanner Kerr got called up and Cameron Eden getting injured. But I guess what was that like in that first half, that things were going pretty well and you guys thought maybe you had a chance to contend?
Yeah, no, we were definitely rolling to start that year, and everyone was, firing all cylinders. I mean, the pitchers weren't really carrying their weight, and our hitters were having to keep us in the game a lot more than they should have. But credits to them and Kerr and Eden keeping us rolling. They were like spark plugs for us, so that was kind of tough. Right when we lost them, it was kind of like it was like a next man up mentality. But those are two guys that are hard to replace in a lineup.
Looking back at some of your starts with. You had, I guess there was one start, you had 9 strikeouts. You had a couple of good outings against Eugene and Hillsborough. I guess when you look back, what would you say was your best performance looking back in 2021?
Probably at Eugene, I would say I think I had a good 4-pitch mix working there, and didn't. With me, like I think about walking people. As long as I keep the walks down, like, and that's like I could punch out 10 guys in the walk, 3 or 4, and it's not a good outing to me. So just to think about whenever I walk the least amount of people, and I think in Eugene I only walked one guy that outing with 9, I think. So that was probably my best one.
You talk about a 4-pitch mix. I've heard fastball, curveball, changeup, slider, and I've also heard fastball, curveball, changeup, cutter, and I guess slider, cutter, it's almost kind of maybe interchangeable. But talk about your 4-pitch mix and what you feel is best to what still needs work.
Yeah, so the slider cutter thing, where me and the pitching office are still trying to figure that one out, but they seem to think it's a big league pitch. So, and I don't really see it yet, but that's what they think, and we're still trying to figure that one out, get the right spin down on it. But I would say my fastball and curveball were definitely complementary of each other this year, and they definitely helped me navigate through most lineups. And the changeup was just there to show to lefties, I think, but definitely the usage of that is going to go up along with when I figure out that cutter. It'll be good going forward.
As far as your fastball goes, 4-seamer or 2-seamer, or what do you?
Yeah, just 4 only.
Okay.
Yeah, just 4 only.
And your curveball, it's got really good movement, 12 to 6, 11 to 5, depends on what, I guess, what shape it takes. But who taught you the curveball? Was it something you learned yourself, or was it somebody helped you develop that?
Honestly, it's so super random. So my curveball, I was probably 14 or 15. I didn't really have a good curveball. Really nobody does when you're 14 or 15, but this one guy just showed me the spike grip. Or I was guest playing for this team, and there was this catcher. It was a dad, just random dad, for for lack of a better word,
right.
Ended up showing me this grip that made me some money. So thanks to him, I don't really remember his name or the time and place when it happened, but it works, and I'm happy about it now.
Who's helped you out as far as your development as a pitcher?
Definitely, I would say growing up, this guy Anthony Telford, he played for the Pirates, the Expos. He was really good in helping me just create a delivery and understand pitching and the what to do with the baseball, not so much the game of it, but like how to hold it, how to throw at grips, and like mechanics and stuff. So he was really good. And then when I got a little bit older, Sam Marcinick, he's from Tampa. He was a first rounder with the Yankees back in I think like '96 or '98. But he was one of my travel coaches, a great pitcher, and he definitely helped with like the other side of like pitch usage and like just, for lack of a better, having like, nuts out there when you pitch.
When did you start to take up pitching full time? I know you pitched and played shortstop, I guess, throughout your younger years, but I guess when did pitching really take hold for you?
Middle of my sophomore year of high school. I never really like practice pitching like that, but I could throw hard, and one day it was striking people out, throwing a little bit hard, and I was like, well, dang, I might as well I could do this. And then I wasn't really, and then everybody else started throwing hard, and I couldn't really hit that. So I was like, well, if can't beat them, might as well join them,
Okay, so you pitch in high school in Tampa Bay, and when did you start to notice that, well, maybe turning professional is not a far-fetched idea here?
So it was probably my junior year when I started to like nail down pitching, and I ended up scholarship offers started to come in, and was fortunate about that. I ended up getting lucky to commit to Florida State. And then after that, I was like, okay, like Division I scholarship, like there's got to be more to this, So we just got to try to get better, and then squeeze the Buffalo for as much as I could, coming out of the draft, but it didn't work out, and then we had to go back. We had to go to school.
Well, you had a forearm injury, and I guess that kind of short-circuited. I don't know. How did you feel about, well, one, getting drafted by the New York Mets, and was it really a serious consideration, maybe turning pro instead of going to college?
Yeah, no, it was definitely. I did not want to go to college at all. School is not my thing, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Now looking back, I got so much better at Florida State. There's development side of. I was just worried about school, not really the development, but yeah, the development definitely helped me there. Wait, sorry, what was it? What was the first part of the question?
Oh, just was turning pro basically something you were considering? I know you were at the New York Mets, and I guess I just wanted to know as well. Did the Mets really go after you hard, really try to put the full court press to get you to join their organization?
No, not really. I mean, they gave me considerably over slot for my pick, but it still wasn't the number that me and my agents had discussed, and they just fell a little bit short. So, I just thought I was worth more than that, and had to go to school to get better, show them I was worth more than that.
Well, you stay in state, going to Florida State and Tallahassee. When you look back in your 3 years, a stint that included a trip to the College World Series, when you look back on it, what really stands out for you?
Probably the development. That was huge. Getting better. I was not good going into there, and I thought I was, and I got humbled and just figured that out really quick. So that was good. That was good. But also the probably beating LSU at LSU to go to the College World Series. I don't think really anybody's ever done that in the box that I can remember. But that was absolutely probably one of the best experience I've had in playing baseball in my whole life.
What was that like pitching in Omaha, getting to see what it was like? You played a lot against a lot of good teams, good players.
Yeah, no, it was definitely cool, and it was cool to see like a college baseball being played with neutral fans, with more or less like 25,000 fans that are just there to watch baseball because they only get it, for that week every year. So it was just cool to see people just appreciate baseball, and just having like a mixed crowd, not one way going another way, but it was definitely an experience to pitch there at one of the greatest ballparks in college baseball, if not the best. That host a game. So, I mean, it was definitely good. And the competition, the other 7 teams that were there were obviously great. Michigan, I got the loss against that game. They're obviously good. You had the 100th home run there too, honestly. So, little cool stat.
Okay. Well, you were trying to get back to the College World Series. The Seminoles were, and the season got cut short by the pandemic. And I guess when it all happened, what was that like? Did you think, well, maybe we'll come back at some point? But I guess when did it dawn on you guys that, well, maybe that's going to be it for baseball this year in 2020?
We were all excited, but right when it came out, we were like, oh, we get 2 weeks off. We're going home for 2 weeks. Oh, this is going to be sick. This isn't nothing. This little like COVID, whatever. But then we were all home, and it continually got worse. And that's when like the different conferences were starting to like shut down the programs and stuff. And we were like, wow, like this is kind of getting serious. And then they told us that, we were not going to continue our season. And for some of us that are in like a draft situation, you knew that like that was the last time maybe you're going to play with those guys. And that's when it kind of hit. And then we were all told to, come back up to school and pack up our lockers and our apartments and stuff. And that's kind of when it all started in.
After things were thrown into chaos, then you had the MLB draft. And of course, with it being cut down to 5 rounds, what was your thought process heading into the draft? Were you wondering, well, am I actually going to get taken? I mean, you were still rated fairly highly, but was that a concern for you at all?
I mean, in a sense, yes, but I just knew that everybody in the draft was in the same boat. So nobody was throwing and nobody was playing games and stuff for people to scout, essentially. So it was all based off what they had seen previously. And I thought that me and my agents had thought that I set myself up, good enough to be in a good, respectable spot going into draft day with the 5 rounds.
The way things were going, you were off to a great start in 2020, and there was some speculation if the season had kept going the way you were pitching, maybe you might have really gained some serious first-round consideration. But as it turns out, you get taken in round 2 by the Toronto Blue Jays. Were the Blue Jays one of those teams that showed interest to you, or that you knew of their interest, or how did that all come about for you?
Yeah, vaguely, but it wasn't one of the teams that was like pressing hard, to like that we were in conversation with. It was honestly funny. It was like the 40th pick, and my agent called me and he was like, the Blue Jays want to take you at 42. And I was like, well, what is that? Like, I didn't even hear anything about that. It was that phone call at the 40th pick, and now I had to make a decision. Then there was really no lead up or conversation.
So when you were selected by the Blue Jays, how did it feel?
It was nuts. I mean, it was definitely more surreal than in high school, because that was sick in high school just to see that. But now that like I was actually going to go and like be a part of this organization, it was definitely like something you just dream of, like when you're a kid, especially like being on like the day 1 or day 2, but day 1 for lack of a, usually, I mean, they do it on TV and stuff too. So that was cool to see the commissioner say that.
Well, you stay in the American League East. I know growing up in Tampa Bay, I understand you got to watch a lot of Rays games at Tropicana Field. I guess in a way you still get to stay home. You get to play a lot of games. Hopefully, if things go well enough for you, that you'll still pitch in the Sunshine State. So what are your thoughts on the Tampa Bay-Toronto rivalry now that, well, you're on the Toronto side of things now?
I know, it's still like, that's funny you said that. Look, I have this Rays hat right here with the camera.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I'm still a Rays fan. It's so tough to admit, but I kind of got to step away from it a little bit, but definitely cheer for them whenever they're not playing the Jays. But it's definitely a competitive AL East rivalry that they're both like competitive, and they're both like going to be in the ALCS or the ALDS probably the next 5 years. I would think they're going to both be, neck and neck, and they're the top of the division. So it's definitely fun to see this rivalry come into play and see where it goes from there. Hopefully I'll be in it one day.
What are your thoughts, I guess, on what the Blue Jays have been doing in the offseason so far? Signing Kevin Gossman. I mean, they got a great pitching staff already with Alek Manoah and Nate Pearson. I believe that's someone you're very familiar with, being from the state of Florida as well. I mean, it's got to be a lot of excitement being around the Blue Jays organization right now, seeing what's been going on.
Yeah, no, it's definitely cool to see how like the front office works and see like the moves that they make, but being like in it and being able to like see, like how it all plays out and stuff. So, but there's some talent coming down the pipe too. So I don't know if all they want them for that long, you know what I mean? Because we got some good guys down here too that might want to come take their jobs, So, but it's fun to see the moves that they're making and actually trying to chase a championship for Canada.
And speaking of Canada, I believe you still haven't been up north as of yet?
No, I have not. No.
Okay.
I've not been to Canada.
Yeah, it's just, are you starting to wonder, geez, am I ever going to get there the way things are going right now? And, I guess it's going to be a while yet. Who knows? Maybe the first time you see Vancouver might be your first time in Canada. But I guess you're starting to wonder about that. Is Canada just, is it real?
Yeah, no, that's what I think. I mean, I haven't seen it from my own eyes. I'm a big, don't really believe it till you see it. So, but I know it's real, obviously. I'm just excited. I just really want to get up there and see, just different culture, weather change, just see how you guys support your Canadian teams, especially the Blue Jays.
What do you know about Toronto? Like growing up, was Blue Jays really on your radar at all? I guess obviously they'd come to Tropicana Field and all that, but I guess what your initial impressions of Toronto before you became a draft pick of the Blue Jays?
Just that like just Roy Halladay and stuff. That was just kind of what I associated the Blue Jays with, and like just so many other great names that came through here. And they had a sick ballpark with the I don't know what that tower is called, but how you can see it through there. And
the CN Tower, yeah.
Yeah, that thing's yeah. Sorry guys, but I don't know that. But yeah, I just thought it was a sick park and that you have a whole country behind you, not just the Tampa Bay area. 500 square miles versus a whole country. It's absolutely, it's pretty cool.
Well, and of course with Tampa Bay, there's been rumblings that maybe they might become the Montreal Rays. I mean, of course, there were the Montreal Expos. There's been jokes about, oh yes, they'll be called the Montreal X-Rays or whatever. I don't know, Tampa X-Rays. But so I mean, it looks like Canada one way is going to be in your future, one way or the other.
I hope so. Well, yeah, either way. I'll still be a Rays fan too if they go up there. But I think they just need to put the park in Tampa and not St. Pete, and we'll get some more fans.
Yeah, I've been to Tropicana Field once, and I mean, it's unfortunate it's not a retractable roof, but of course, you really do need a dome stadium in the state of Florida.
Yes, absolutely.
But Tropicana Field, I mean, obviously, you have a lot of memories of the place, and I guess your thoughts of Tropicana Field.
I think it's a little bit outdated now. They need to put in some renovations, if not knock it down, and like I said, go to Tampa. But for what it is, it's nice. I mean, it could be a little bit more fan friendly and stuff, but they do a good job. They do a good job over there. The staff's good.
Being in Tampa Bay right now and getting a chance now to, I guess, experience the Blue Jays' new player development complex, which isn't that far from Tampa Bay. What's it been like being able to train in such, I guess, really a world-class facility like that?
You just have everything you need. I mean, there's not an excuse not to get better at a place like that. You know what I mean? I don't really know how much it costs or whatnot, but it's got to be alive from all the stuff that they got for us, man. It's crazy, honestly.
What are some of the things that you like about what do you wind up using at the player development facility? I know they got state-of-the-art technology. Is there anything in particular that you use developing as a pitcher?
Yeah, I mean, we have this pitching lab that's just for pitching. I think there's like 8 or 9 cameras in there with like a couple like slow motion ones, and then like a big, probably, I don't know, 60-inch TV that just for like projecting your Rapsodo numbers and your metrics on there. So you can just throw a pitch and it's just right there on the TV. Just turn around and look at it. And there's like a desk behind there with some computers that the staff sits at. It's pretty cool. It doesn't really feel like baseball in there. It feels like a lab a little bit, but we definitely get better for sure. The mound's like made out of force plates and stuff too, so you can like see how you're like how much force you're putting in and then make sure it's in the right spots and stuff. But that's definitely state of the art for sure.
Well, there's all this new talk about, I guess, tunneling your pitches, trying to keep your release point consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I guess some of the equipment that helps you see how things are progressing on that front, I guess, as far as your delivery and your release point.
Yeah, that's the slow motion cameras are big for that. I don't know how many frames a second it slows down to, but you can pretty much like see the ball like if it's your fastball spinning like 2200 RPMs, you can see each rotation coming down off the thing, so you can really like get your rotation in your arm spots down for sure.
And spin rate is always a big statistic now. How your pitches are, I guess, developing. Do you just sometimes? I guess it's got to be easy to be really overwhelmed by all the information now that's available to you as a pitcher.
Yeah, no, it is overwhelming, but you just kind of have to know who you are and what. Like my fastball doesn't spin like, I don't know. We have this guy Joe Murray that spins at like 3,000. Mine's like barely 2. So I got to know the pitcher I am and not take on that pitching with spin and using his fastball the way he uses it. So I mean, just knowing yourself and how everybody's different.
Okay, you talk about knowing yourself as a pitcher. How would you describe yourself as a pitcher if you had to give a scouting report on yourself?
Walks a lot of guys. No, I did last year, but I don't know, decent fastball, decent curveball. Slider's going to be good when it comes around, but and the changeup's just there to get him off the fastball. I don't really know. I'm not good at that. I never really tried to do that.
Is there anyone maybe you compare yourself to in the majors?
I like the way Chris Archer pitched when he was in Tampa. I liked his demeanor and just the way he really didn't look like he was trying too hard, but the results were there. He was so calm and smooth.
And I think that's something that has been described about your pitching delivery, that it's fairly compact. It's not like a lot of moving parts or herky jerky, or I guess you tried to get a little bit of deception, but I guess your delivery, that's something you've been working on, trying to remain smooth and consistent.
Right. Yeah, it has been. I think it's been pretty smooth for most of my career. It's just kind of tighten some things up in here or here and there and making sure my stride's, the right length and I'm landing in the right spot.
Well, you've worked with pitching coach Phil Kandari in Vancouver, and you also had, I believe, 3 different pitching coaches when you were with the Seminoles, so you had one a year, basically. I guess, what do you try to, take away from each pitching coach? I mean, they're all trying to help you. Is there anything maybe you take away from each one of them?
Yeah, all 4 of those guys are definitely different, and they have different styles of coaching pitching, and some of that may not work for you, and it may be great for the next guy or other guys. So they just have to put their style out there, and you have to filter it. You know what I mean? You're at the point where you have to take stuff, always be respectful, but take stuff and retain it that you want to retain, and just let stuff, lack of a better word, in one ear and out the other, because you just receive so much information that if you think it's or if you don't want it as information, you can't store it. You just have to let it go and move on to stuff that you can focus about when they talk to you.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it just sometimes can be too much information or information overload, but everyone's trying to help you do the best you can. I guess when you look back now, getting year 1 under your belt and now trying to get to year 2, whenever that may be. I guess right now, what's the timeline for you? You're still trying to go through your rehab and
I'll be
any target as for when you might take to the mound again?
Yeah, probably around September, October next year. I'll be thrown off the mound again, and then hopefully get assigned. Probably getting assigned in spring training 23.
Unfortunately, I guess it'll be a while before Blue Jays fans get to see you. But
yeah, sadly.
Yeah, and that's too bad. Well, we certainly wish you the very best in your recovery and rehab efforts. Anyway, CJ, I just want to say thanks a million for this. Much appreciated. And certainly like to wish you all the best with the Blue Jays organization down the line, and hope to see you in the majors one day.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, Neil. I had a good time.